Okay. Now we are getting into this building a model of excellence. Now, what is this model of excellence? At the bottom is a strategic planning. Every company has values and ethics. They have a vision, mission, and strategy management. And then in operational excellence, you start with safety assurance. You ensure that you have a world-class workplace. And the heart of all the operations and in production particularly is equipment. So your equipment have to be effective. And quality, we all know that it cannot be compromised. And inventory have to be managed because that influences the cost and inventory also hides all the waste. Okay, so inventory management is so important. And this is only an indicative set of pillars. We need to actually do a diagnostic study of your organization to see which of these pillars are suitable to you, to really start strengthening. And this model is not written on rock. It can be a flexible model which over a period of time you can change. And finally you bring in business excellence. What is more important is having a model of excellence is one thing, and continuous improvement across these pillars and learning and development across this is so very important. As I said, this portion is strategic planning and this is operational excellence. And three components: learning and development, assessment, review, and continuous improvement is very important. If this slide is clear, type clear in the comment box. I'll go to the next slide. Now I'll start explaining components when you really want to build this excellence. Okay. See, we spoke about different pillars, and each of these pillars, preferably, this is again indicative, what we follow, okay, which helped us a lot. And that is why I'm also proposing this. You can make tweaks to that, but ultimately you should have your own documented model of excellence. For example, let us take this foundation. I put safety as a foundational pillar. Okay. Now, in safety assurance, learning and development is important. I'm not reading out what type of learning. You'll have to decide based on your organization what all the learning and development you need under safety. Okay, assessment as review is important. Okay, and continuous improvement is important. Okay, in this model, what I'm stating is not only the model of excellence, but also there has to be learning and development, there has to be assessment and review, there has to be continuous improvement. Okay, similarly, world-class workplace. There has to be some learning and development, there has to be assessment and review, and there has to be continuous improvement projects. Like one of the projects what Mr. Vasudevan shared today, okay, is actually the focused red tagging activities to eliminate the I think he said non-performing assets or some old machineries or whatever it is. Okay, that is a continuous improvement project. Okay. Similarly, you can have continuous improvement project on visual management. Okay, you can say that, okay, we formed a new standards and we'll have to implement this visual standard across all the machines or locations or whatever it is. Okay, and one of the proposed continuous improvement project in 5S is, focused red tagging activity to ensure zero spillages and leakages in your organization across all zones. Any zone which achieves zero spillages and leakages, give them a trophy. Okay, this zone is zero leakage and spillage. Okay, so on and so forth. I'm not explaining this. When we come to the respective modules, I'll go into the depth of it. But if you got it, type got it in the comment box. Okay, and similarly for equipment effectiveness, red tagging, CLITA, My Machine campaign, preventive maintenance plan, in assessment and review, breakdown analysis, downtime analysis, efficiency analysis. Okay, in continuous improvement projects, breakdown reduction project, MTTR, MTBF, and all that. Now, the objective of this slide is not to explain what is written inside, but to give you an overview of what are the components that is required inside this model of excellence. Okay. And similarly, quality assurance. You all know in quality assurance and all these topics, whatever that I have put, put here in the building blocks. For example, 7QC tools, YY analysis, structured problem solving methodology, forum analysis, Pareto graphs. All this in some way, in some modules I'll cover, okay? And then when you put these pieces of puzzle together, you'll be able to relate, okay, how to construct these pillars and what are the components inside these pillars. Okay. And similarly, in the inventory management, you will have to decide what knowledge is required to your industry to really impart this inventory control, and what is the sort of assessment and review that you'll have to do in inventory control, and what is a continuous improvement project that you'll have to take it in the inventory control. And very important, continuous improvement, people have to understand the basics of what is waste, what is unevenness or variation, what is overburden, what are the different types of waste, and how to identify, how to wage war on waste, and how to eliminate, combine, rearrange, and all that. Okay, you need to, across all these pillars, you need to ensure that you track what are the improvements that is done, what are the standardization that is done, how the assessment is being done, and all that. Under learning and development, it is very important that we need to identify where the gaps are. We talk about training need identification, training calendar, skill matrix, skill flexibility, train the trainer. Okay. In fact, in this COVID times, when we engage with the clients, we start this train the trainer. Okay. So we speak about level 1, level 2, and level 3 type of training. Level 1 is where we give it to the lean champions, 5S champions, and the zone leaders. Level 2 is where they give it to their zone leaders, and level 3 is actually while implementing, again the third level is given. Okay, and the level 3 training happens in the Gemba as a Blitz Kaizen event style, 3-hour BKW every month. We'll speak more about that later when we come to the Kaizen events. All right, there are a lot of things that you can put under assessment and review in learning and development. Okay, some of the things we know: training plan versus actual training attendance, skill metric progress, and things like that. All right, so if this was useful, type useful in the comment box.